Beyond the realm of the unknown, Echo Cave whispers of hidden chambers filled with ancient artifacts, walls inscribed with the wisdom of civilizations long vanished, and underground rivers that sing with the voices of the past. Some say that deep within its heart lies a crystal of immense power, glowing with an inner light that reflects the history of the earth itself. It is believed that those who gaze upon the crystal can see visions of the world as it once was, a tapestry of life and legend unfolding in its facets. Others speak of a hidden library, a collection of scrolls and tomes bound in strange leathers and written in languages forgotten by time. These texts hold the secrets of alchemy, astrology, and other arcane practices, guarded by the spirits of the scholars who penned them. There are tales of a lost city buried beneath the cave, where the shadows of its former inhabitants still roam the streets, caught between worlds. The city is said to be filled with treasures untold, waiting for a worthy soul to uncover them. And then there are the echoes themselves, each one a fragment of a soul that once sought refuge in the cave's embrace. The echoes carry their stories, their hopes, their fears, a chorus of the human experience echoing through the ages. But the greatest secret of Echo Cave is perhaps its ability to change those who enter. It's a place of transformation where the veil between the physical and the spiritual is thin, and one can reach out and touch the essence of existence. So while we may speculate and dream of what lies within Echo Cave, its true secrets are known only to the cave itself, and it guards them well. For some things are meant to be discovered, while others are meant to remain hidden, tucked away in the shadows of wonder and the whispers of earth. May your curiosity always lead you to the wondrous places, and may the secrets you uncover be as enlightening as the stars above. The Tizaruk is a sea serpent-like creature that is said to live in the cold waters of Alaska. Its head is about 7 feet in length, and it features a flipper tail. Overall, it is said to be at least 15 feet in length. The Tezerick is an ambush predator that mostly haunts streams that contain a lot of rocks. This eel-like creature has the teeth of deep ocean fish and translucent skin that is nearly invisible and only shows its organs. When Tezaruk is underwater, its organs look like rocks. Many have claimed to see the Tezaruk over the years, and a number of carcasses have washed ashore on several occasions that were believed to belong to this water-bound cryptid. It began on a night painted with the silver of a full moon, when the stars seemed to sing a song of ancient paths and forgotten ways. The visitors arrived not with a roar, but with the softest of sighs, their ships slipping through the atmosphere like shadows caressing the face of the world. They came from a place beyond our understanding, a realm where the fabric of reality wove different tales and the constellations told other stories. The visitors were ethereal, their forms flickering like the flame of a candle caught in a gentle breeze. Their arrival went unnoticed by most, save for a few a handful of souls who looked beyond the veil of the everyday and sought the mysteries that lay beneath. These individuals felt the presence of the visitors, a subtle shift in the air, a quiet dissonance that whispered of change. The visitors observed, their eyes filled with the light of 1,000 worlds, their minds vast and serene. They saw our triumphs and our failures, our joys and our sorrows. They saw the potential that lie coiled within the human spirit waiting to be awakened. As days turned to nights and seasons shifted their cloaks, the visitors began to make themselves known. They appeared in dreams and visions, offering glimpses of what could be, a future where humanity transcended its limitations and joined the cosmic dance. They shared their wisdom not in words, but in the language of the universe itself, in the rhythm of the tides, the harmony of the winds, and the patterns of the stars. Those who listened found their minds expanded, their hearts opened, and their spirits filled. But the visitors' time among us was fleeting. As silently as they had come, they departed, their ships dissolving into the starry expanse of whence they came. They left behind no trace, save for the memories of those who they had touched. The world continued on, the majority unaware of anything had occurred. But for those who felt the presence of the visitors, life was forever altered. They carried the seeds of a new dawn, a promise of what humanity might one day become. And so, the visitors remain a legend, a story told in hushed tones by those who dream of the stars. They are a reminder that we are not alone, that the universe is vast and full of wonders, and that sometimes the greatest visitors are those who come not to conquer, but to enlighten. The Whispering in the Woods. On the outskirts of a small, forgotten town, nestled deep within the misty mountains, lay a forest that the locals called the Hollow Glen. The trees were ancient, their gnarled branches twisted together like the fingers of some long-forgotten giant. The townsfolk whispered tales of the forest, warning travelers never to enter its depths after dark. Those who were curious, or foolish enough, rarely returned with their sanity intact. It was a cool autumn evening when a group of friends, eager for adventure, decided to camp near the edge of the Hollow Glen. They had heard the stories, of course, but they laughed them off as old superstitions. They pitched their tents, built a fire, and began to tell tales of ghosts and monsters, each trying to outdo the last. As the night deepened, the fire crackled, casting flickering shadows on the trees. The wind picked up, and with it came a strange, almost imperceptible sound, a whispering, as if the trees themselves were speaking in some long-dead language. At first, the friends thought it was just the wind playing tricks on them, but the whispering grew louder, more insistent, as if it was trying to convey some urgent message. The flame of the campfire began to flicker, casting strange, elongated shadows that seemed to dance and writhe on their own. One of the friends, a young man named Eli, noticed something odd about the shadows. They didn't match the shapes of the trees or the people around the fire. Instead, they twisted into forms that were impossible, with too many limbs and eyes that glowed faintly in the darkness. Eli, one of his friends, called out, "Are you seeing this too?" Before Eli could respond, the whispering intensified, growing louder until it was almost a chant. The words were still unintelligible, but the sound was hypnotic, pulling the friends into a trance. The fire dimmed, its warmth replaced by an unnatural chill that seeped into their bones. Suddenly the chanting stopped, leaving the night eerily silent. The fire had died completely, leaving only the faint glow of the embers. Eli, now fully awake, realized they were not alone. From the darkness of the hollow glen, figures emerged, tall, fin-shaped, with impossibly long limbs and eyes that burned like embers. The figures moved closer, their whispers now clear in Eli's mind. They spoke of ancient beings, older than time itself, who slumbered beneath the earth, waiting for the stars to align. The hollow glen, they said, was a gateway to these beings, and the friends had unknowingly come too close. In a sudden burst of terror, Eli tried to scream, but no sound came. The figures surrounded the group. Their whispers turned into a deafening roar. The ground beneath them began to tremble, as if something immense and powerful was stirring below. And then, as quickly as it began, it was over. The figures melted back into the darkness. The whispering faded, and the fire roared back to life. The friends found themselves alone again, the only sound, the crackling of the flames. They picked up their camp in silence, too terrified to speak of what they had just witnessed. As they hurried away from the hollow glen, they could still feel the eyes of the figures watching them from the darkness. Years later, when the friends spoke of that night, they could never agree on what had happened. Some believed it was a shared hallucination, a trick of the mind. But Eli knew the truth. The hollow glen was a place where the veil between worlds was thin, where ancient, unfathomable beings awaited for their chance to return. And one day, when the stars were right, they would awaken. In the vast expanse of the Sahara, there lies a tale of an ancient city, Zerzura. It was said to be a place of immense wealth, hidden away by the sands and known only to the pharaohs. The city was guarded by spirits, ethereal custodians who whispered secrets of the past and future to those who dared to venture close. One such adventurer was a young archaeologist named Sarah, whose fascination with ancient civilizations led her to the thresholds of Zerzura. Guided by a cryptic map and legends passed down through generations, she embarked on a journey that many had attempted but none had returned from. As Sarah neared the supposed location of the lost city, the desert night grew colder, and the winds carried murmurs that seemed almost human. Undeterred, she passed on until one night, under the crescent moon, she found herself surrounded by a circle of ghostly figures. They were the guardians of Zerzura, clad in pharaonic garb, their eyes glowing with the wisdom of millennia. They spoke in unison, their voices a symphony of echoes. Why do you seek the city that time has forgotten? Sarah, with a heart both fearful and brave, replied, to uncover the truth that lie buried beneath these sands, to bring light to history's shadows. The spirits regarded her with a silent gaze before the sands beneath her feet began to shift. Slowly the dunes parted, revealing the golden gates of Zazura. The city was magnificent, untouched by time, its halls adorned with treasures untold. The spirits granted Sarah entry, but with a warning. With dawn, the gates will close, and Zazura will vanish once more. Take with you only memories, for that is the treasure truest to time. Sarah explored the city, marveling at the city's technology and inscriptions that told of civilizations beyond the stars. As the first light of dawn touched the horizon, she made her way out, the whispers of the spirits growing fainter. She returned to the world, her mind a repository of knowledge that would change history. But whenever the desert winds blow, she could hear the faint whispers of Zazura calling her back to its hidden depths. And so, the city remains a ghostly mirage waiting for the next seeker of truths, hidden within the whispering sands of the Sahara.